It's time for Thunder at the Fair with Mitch Nellis.
Broadcasting live from the 1250 AM and 105.7 FM The Fan Studios. Powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook.
This is Thunder at the Fair. My name's Mitch Nellis, a.k.a. Thunder, and we are at day one of the Wisconsin State Fair. We are powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook, so thanks to our friends over there. Make sure you get over there Saturday night and Sunday night because it is SummerSlam. Again, Cody Rhodes, John Cena, Jey Uso, and Roman Reigns bringing back the bloodline against Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker, and tons of other matches. Jade Cargill and Tiffany Stratton. We'll see if it's Tiffy time or if it's Jade's time to take over WWE. Charlie Usen is here with me as well. I'm used to working with Tommy Wirtz, as everybody knows. Tommy and Mason are holding down the Mason Crosby Show today, tomorrow, and all of next week. I will be here today, tomorrow, and all of next week from 11 to 2. Rich Eisen, sorry, buddy. I'll shoot you an email and break the bad news to you later. Charlie, how you feeling?
I'm feeling pretty good. Again, I love to hear all the sights and sounds and everything that's happening from the fair. It makes me feel like I'm there.
Absolutely. We were hoping that we could send down, like, the smells through the YouTube channel. Cool. One day, right? One day that'll happen. Remember, you can watch us on YouTube at The Fan Milwaukee. You do need that @ sign in there. At The Fan Milwaukee. Our Nicolay Law Fan Talking text line, 414-677-1250, 414-677-1250. Do you think the Brewers will make any deal? Do you think they'll make a big deal before the trade deadline? And I guess they did make a deal a couple days ago. They got Danny Jansen, backup catcher, to replace Eric Haas. Jansen has a little more pop in his bat, a little more experience behind the plate. And then, of course, William Contreras hits 2 home runs yesterday and says, I don't need a backup. I am that Bill, and I am ready. But he does have a broken finger, so we'll keep our eye on that. We'll keep our eye on all breaking news as it pertains to Major League Baseball. But the Green Bay Packers were back at it today. Green Bay Packers back on the practice field after a day off yesterday. Well, a day off yesterday meant that the assistant coaches were speaking. We listened to some Adam Stenovich in the 12 o'clock hour, talking about the offensive line, talking about Matthew Golden. We talked about both of those things with Peter Bukowski from Locked On Packers podcast, who joined us as well. But we wanted to get to some Jeff Hafley sound as well. Jeff Hafley, defensive coordinator for our Green Bay Packers. And I think we got to start with Bo Melton because Bo Melton comes into camp, comes into OTAs, and starts playing a little cornerback. Comes into training camp, switches his number from 80 to 16, is fully all in, working with the cornerbacks and the defensive secondary. Let's hear what Jeff Hafley had to say about Bo Melton.
So I just wanted to make sure everybody understands that this is going to be a process with Bo. And I said to Bo, look, man, you might get spun around in the first 2 practices. You might line up and, I mean, it's going to be different for you, but I don't want you to get frustrated. We're not going to get frustrated with you. I mean, we understand this is going to take time, but we believe in it. And we believe in him, and we believe he can do it. And, again, that's our job as coaches, is to develop players, right? Whether it's a young player or a new player to play a different position. And I think DA's done a really good job. But I credit Bo. I don't think there are many guys in this league who are just going to be, hey, what do you think about doing this? And, yeah, I'll do it, whatever's best for the team. How many guys nowadays are going to do that? I don't think there's many of them. So chances are the guy's going to succeed. And I believe in him, and I'm excited to see where this can go. But at the same time, I think everybody's got to kind of just, all right, let's slow down. Everything's not going to look perfect. But I was fired up. I love the guy. You win with guys like Bo.
Man, how cool is that to have your defensive coordinator? Charlie, if your offensive coordinator had said that about you, I'm pretty sure you would have run through a wall for that guy. Like, is anything cooler than what Hafley just said about Bo Melton?
No, definitely not. When your coaches have that much confidence in you and are that excited about you and are willing to share that in front of the national media, your hometown media, that's a really big deal for a guy like Bo Melton, who's literally just trying to find a spot on this team. This is the only reason he's playing cornerback is because there was nowhere else for him to fit, and they wanted him to be a part of this team.
Well, and I love to think about that mindset during the offseason. Okay, so I have clung on by a string to make this roster the past couple of years. Like, I've been either the last wide receiver or the second to last wide receiver. And yeah, I've done a good job on special teams, but like, it's been precarious every year. You know, every year I have to sweat it out to see if I make the team. And then the team drafts a wide receiver in the first round and in the third round. And it's like, that's my position. Like, what am I going to do? And to have the wherewithal, and I'm sure his brother helped him out with that, you know, a cornerback with the Arizona Cardinals. But to have the wherewithal to say, you know what, I can fight, and maybe I'll make the team as wide receiver again. But like, me and Malik Heath aren't both making the team this year. One of us is making it, one of us is not. And it's been 50-50 this whole way with me and Malik. If I can bring more value and I can find a way to get on the field or to just at least add depth to this team, like, I love that mindset by Bo Melton, and I love how much his coaching staff has embraced him for it. And that's just like, to me, that speaks like about, it just makes me more excited for this Packers season. And it might not affect anything on the field. I mean, Bo Melton might never get out as a cornerback on the field. He might just be a superstar on special teams, and that's it. But I feel like it makes all of us sit up and take notice of the type of vibe the Packers are going for.
Well, and not just the fans, but it should make the rest of the team sit up and say, this is what they're looking for. This is the type of player that this coaching staff is excited by and wants to have on the field, and they'll fight tooth and nail to find a spot for him on this roster. A lot of these other players, Malik Heath, should look at that and say, you know what, I need to step up a little bit. Maybe some of these cornerbacks that are fighting for a spot on this team. A Kalen King, who wants to prove himself as maybe a depth corner on this team. He needs to start finding spots where he can fit in and doing what he can to work. And I don't really think that's just on the football field. I think that's in any facet, any job. If you feel like you're getting pushed out, the best way to stick around is find other avenues for you to sneak in.
Absolutely. Jeff Hafley also, while he was speaking to the media yesterday, talking about this defense and his thoughts on how special, how different, the opportunities that this defense has. We've talked about this a lot the last couple of weeks on the Mason Crosby show about, like, I feel like it's been 10 years that we've been promised that the Packers defense is going to be better and the Packers defense is going to be different. And every year it's fallen flat. And finally last year it did not fall flat. And that doesn't mean they're the best defense in the world, but the defense looked like and it doesn't mean every player's perfect. You know, Peter Bukowski talked about how maybe this is the year LVN gets it, maybe it's not. But if what we saw last year continues to improve and continues to get better, I'm excited for what this defense can do. And I think Hafley is excited about it too, talking about his defense.
Last year during this time, we were totally figuring out who we were going to be. And we're going to be a 4-down front. We're going to play a lot of over defense with a 9 technique. We're going to play a lot of middle close coverage. What were we going to do? And then we evolved when we figured out who we had, what we were good at, who we were playing, and we kind of built it as we went, right? And as I looked back into, because you go back when you get in the training camp and you figure, all right, these are the install days, these are the practices that Matt has set up, and this is how we're going to do our install. Well, our install, like, from last year to this year, you would think we have a new defensive coordinator from what we put in last year at this time to what we ended the year. So the beauty of it right now is we have a strong foundation, and that install is almost done after 6 practices. So now it's the tweaking. Now it's getting better. Now it's evolving as we see, oh, I like this pressure, but hey, anyone else think we can do this and this off of it? So now we can kind of build. And what we can do is we have a bigger inventory. The guys know the inventory, and this will allow us to say, all right, going into the first however many games, we like this. Let's hold off on this, but have this ready down the road. You understand what I'm saying? Because I don't think, even though we kind of believe we have a good foundation of where we are schematically, I still think we're going to need to evolve as we go because people are going to figure us out. Things are going to change around the league of what offenses are trying to do. And we're a different team this year, so we're going to have to continue to evolve. But where we are at the start compared to where we were last year is totally different, and I'm excited to see where we can go with this.
So this just talks to me about how locked in Jeff Hafley is and how locked in he has his players. You know, it's not an exciting answer, but it's an answer that you're like, whoa, like this guy really knows what he's doing. And this is the type of answer when, and I heard, I can't remember if they were talking about it on the Mason Crosby show today or on Pack-A-Day, where they were talking about that if the defense does what it should do this year, if this is a top 5, top 7, top 8 defense, Jeff Hafley's not the defensive coordinator next year, right? Like, Jeff Hafley's getting a head coaching job. And this type of answer is like, it's almost like Matt LaFleur can just focus on the offense and let Hafley run the defense. And that's got to be such a great feeling for LaFleur, who, like, the first couple of years of being a head coach, needed to step in or needed to figure out what was going wrong. And now with Jeff Hafley there, like, Charlie, it really feels like Hafley's like, man, dude is locked in and dude gets it.
He feels like a head coach, which is what he was in college. I know he's never really been at that level in the NFL, but what you're hearing in the way that the players are responding to him, and again, just the change in the way the defense felt last year. That defense was not as talented, in my opinion, last year as it has been in years before, but that was the most solid it looked. And if they can build on that this year, I think there's no doubt he's a head coach in the NFL next season, and just the way he talks, you can hear that.
Absolutely. Coming up on Thunder at the Fair, the special presentation today, tomorrow, and all of next week here on 1250 AM, 105.7 FM, The Fan. Jeff McCarthy, Chief Marketing Officer with Bank 59, is going to join us. They're the title sponsor of the amphitheater and kind of the music scene here at State Fair. We're going to talk. So we're going to talk music, but with him, as you know the rules. You come on Thunder at the Fair, you're talking food and you're talking sports too. So we'll talk some music, we'll talk some food, we'll talk some sports. I do have to make mention also, I saw one guy wearing a bandana shirt. You don't see that often, Charlie, a guy wearing a bandana. But you know what? You do what you do you, bro.
Teach their own, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I saw a guy wearing a purple Bucks jersey, and we all know purple's my favorite jersey, but no number, no name on back. Like, just a generic, but it was actually a jersey, like put an 11 and put TJ Ford on the back. Like, put something on the back.
Something cool.
And then we are outside the Expo Center. So we are facing the Milk House, and we are facing the Milwaukee Mile track. Looking good. And I saw a guy come out with the whole squeegee set. So inside the Expo Center, they've got all those squeegees and, like, the floor mop, and they're doing the president. Like, they're probably taking, like, spaghetti sauce and throwing it on the floor and then cleaning it up in record seconds. And so I saw some guy walk out with that. So kudos to that guy for buying and for making it worthwhile for all the people in the Expo Center doing their jobs. A lot of Giannis shirts, a lot of Giannis jerseys, of course, at State Fair. A lot of Bucks gear because, hey, as we see a two-time NBA champion, they won the championship just 4 years ago, and we should still be proud. A lot of Packers gear, a lot of Brewers gear as well. Let's get to Jeff McCarthy, Chief Marketing Officer, and I like to call him, like, I guess I call Tim McCormick like a storytelling guru, but I usually call Jeff McCarthy like my marketing guru. So I maybe have to come up with like the he is my marketing consigliere and marketing phenomena coming and going to join us next here on Thunder at the Fair. We are powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook on 1250 AM, 105.7 FM, The Fan, on the free Odyssey app, on the free iHeart app. We're on YouTube now at The Fan Milwaukee. You do need the @ sign at The Fan Milwaukee. This is Thunder at the Fair on The Fan. Yes, sir. It is Thunder at the Fair. My name's Mitch Nellis, a.k.a. Thunder. And during the break, we had a gentleman come up and ask us, have the Brewers made a trade yet? And the answer is they have not made a trade yet. Joining me now on Thunder at the Fair, he is Jeff McCarthy, the whirling dervish of marketing, the CMO, Chief Marketing Officer with our friends at Bank 59. Jeff, thanks so much for jumping on today.
Oh, my gosh. Thanks for the invite. Happy to be here.
Absolutely. So I know you guys sponsor a bunch of the music here, and we're going to get to the music. But, guy comes up, wants to know if the Bucks, if the Brewers have made a trade yet. I know you're a huge sports fan, big Brewers fan. And we talked about it a little bit in the first hour. The consequences or the concept of making a trade and potentially improving a position, shortstop potentially, bullpen potentially of your team, versus the concept of the team seems to vibe so well and not wanting to mess. We all know what happened. The Josh Hader situation still looms large for Brewers fans. What do you think about what the Brewers could potentially end up doing today by the trade deadline, which is 5 p.m. Central Time?
Yeah, I think with Suarez off the table now,
yep.
I'm more inclined to sit tight. I think if you can get a top-end guy in here, somebody that's really an impact player, you go for it.
Yeah.
But if you're more middle of the road, it's hard to beat team chemistry. And to risk messing that up at this point, you've got the best record in the majors.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think I might ride with what I have.
You make some good points. We saw Minnesota's closer go to Philly. We saw the Nationals closer just recently, Finnegan. He went to Detroit. We saw the A's closer go to San Diego. So teams are making bullpen moves. I don't know how much exactly. I haven't been able to break it down to see how much they've had to give up for those bullpen arms. I know the trades that were made yesterday, it looked like a lot. It looked like teams were giving up even more for a bullpen arm than what Seattle gave up for Suarez, which, they gave up something. It was of consequence, but it wasn't quite as much as many of us thought it might be.
No, you're right. And for a small market team like the Brewers, that farm system is so critical, right? Because we can't afford to pay the top end guys. So we need to keep replenishing. And to deal away a bunch of our hot prospects for a couple months of a guy, I don't know if it's worth it long term.
That's fair. Jeff McCarthy, Chief Marketing Officer with Bake 59, joining us on Thunder at the Fair. Remember, I'm usually on 9 to 11 on the Mason Crosby Show, but State Fair is here, so I was like, somebody said, who wants to do State Fair, and I couldn't have raised my hand quickly enough to come on out here. And I come on out here, and I see Bank 59 signage everywhere. So first of all, congratulations on that.
Thank you.
That's got to feel good.
It does. We looked right across the way here and see our big logo up there. It's pretty cool.
Bank 59 main stage. How'd you get involved with the main? Like, how does a title sponsorship of the main stage at State Fair come together?
Yeah, well, it actually started 5 years ago when we agreed to be the sponsor of the Bank 59 Amphitheater, which is the largest free stage here on the grounds. And it's been a really successful relationship. I think both sides are very happy with the way that's gone. So the main stage sponsorship became available this past winter, and they called and wanted to talk about it. And the original concept was to leave the amphitheater and just do the main stage.
Okay.
But the more we learned about it and the more we really thought about our relationship here, we said, you know what, let's dive in. We're going to do them both. Wow. So we did. That's exactly what we did. So we've now got the largest free stage at the amphitheater, the main stage here with all the best headliners. You can't miss us.
And State Fair is known for all sorts. We can hear music right now. There's a bunch of smaller stages. What does it say about the mission of the bank? What does it say about the investment and involvement in community that the main stage and then the biggest free stage, the amphitheater? Why is music so important?
Yeah. Well, it starts with the fair itself. You look around here, and not only do you see a ton of Wisconsin residents enjoying the day, and they will over the next 11 days, but you see all the support of local businesses and local agriculture and everything that the fair means to the community. It's a very like-minded organization to us whose mission is to make lives better, and we really believe our relationship with the fair is another tangible way that we live that mission.
I love that.
The amphitheater was a great opportunity, still is, because all the entertainment's free.
Yeah.
And in
a
time
walk
when
up to it and jam and
you could
party,
go right now and
have
watch
a couple
something.
beverages.
Exactly.
Absolutely. Do it. Let's go.
So at a time when there's inflation and everything's more expensive, to know that you can just with your admission ticket, walk in and enjoy some great entertainment at the amphitheater. We're really proud to help provide that to fairgoers. But then you do have the main stage, and that's where all the big headliners go, and there's definitely a place for them as well. And so it's really just our honor to help the fair bring this type of entertainment to everybody that comes to the fair.
Jeff McCarthy with Bank 59 joining us on Thunder at the Fair. We'll get to some of the headliners in a second. But I kind of want to draw some parallels between like what you're doing and what we as fans from time to time almost demand from our sports teams. Like whether it's the Bucks or the Brewers or the Packers, whether it's the Badgers or Marquette, or even like the Milkmen and the Chinooks and the Dockhounds. Like we have created a culture of corporate involvement in our community, from our sports teams, from our great companies that are based here in southeastern Wisconsin or throughout the state. What does that say about Wisconsinites that like we really lean into that community involvement?
No, it's a great place to live and work, as you know. And like I said, our mission is to make lives better, and it's not a stretch. When we wrote that mission statement, it really was a reflection of what our employees were already doing in the communities that we serve. And what you'll see is even right now over at the amphitheater, there's a tent for Bank 59. There's employees over there meeting people and shaking hands, because we don't just want to write a check and slap our logo on something. We want to be involved with the organizations that we support. So all throughout the southeast Wisconsin area, you'll see us at kids fests and local things in the park, Tuesday night movies, that kind of thing. And we believe as a local community bank, that's our responsibility to give back to the communities that are so good to us and bringing us their business.
Right there.
There you go.
And for those of you following on YouTube, I've got my Bank 59 Thunder MKE LLC.
That's a good-looking card right there.
Isn't that? That's a good one right there. Jeff McCarthy with Bank 59 joining me. If you are watching on the YouTube channel, that's at The Fan Milwaukee. At The Fan Milwaukee. All right, so who's coming tonight? Who's coming this weekend? Who are you excited for at the main stage?
Yeah, so tonight, well, first let's start at the amphitheater. Journey from the Heart is the headliner there tonight. So, again, that's a free show. Yep. It's a Journey and Heart tribute band.
I would know every word of every song. I would, kid of the 80s. Let's go.
They're amazing. And they have a female singer. She's amazing. Awesome. So that's going to be an awesome show. Again, free with your admission. Go check them out. Over at the main stage tonight is Midland. They're a country group, kind of up and coming. People are really excited about that show as well. His opener, which his name escapes me right now, but apparently he's a great act as well and a really good draw. So if you're a country fan, that's definitely the place to be tonight. As we roll into the weekend, tomorrow night and Saturday on the amphitheater is Here Come the Mummies, and I will tell you the amphitheater will be packed for Here Come the Mummies. People love them. So that's a good show. And at the main stage tomorrow night, Boys to Men.
Although we've come to the end of the road.
Yeah, you could join them. You could join them on stage for sure.
Well, and because they only have 3 of them now.
That's right. They need a 4th.
So they need a 4th. I think I'm in. Boys to Men was my jam. So I have a quick story. When I was 16 years old, summer of 92, Motown Philly had just come up. Or summer of 91. I'm sorry, summer of 91. And I was at an overnight summer camp, and it was like movie night. So the whole camp gets bussed out to go see the movies. And our cabin, for whatever reason, we didn't fit the buses. So the camp van had to take just our group of 12, 14, 15-year-old dudes, whatever it was. It was either 90 or 91. Anyway, we get there faster because the buses take forever in the van. And so we get there, and as we park in the parking lot, Motown Philly comes on the radio. And we lost our brains. We had heard it, but it was an up-and-coming song at camp. People were getting into it. But we were on top of the van, playing the saxophone. We knew every word. It was,
to this day, when it comes on the radio, I turn it up, man. Dude, it's a banger.
Motown, it is absolutely a banger, Motown Philly. So it's so much fun that Boys to Men's coming. I love that.
Yeah, it's cool. And there's something for everybody at both stages. On the main stage, in addition to some of the country, Leonard Skinner's going to be here.
Yep.
Queensryche is coming.
Oh, yeah.
Gabriel Iglesias, a comedian.
Okay, nice. Yep.
He's going to bring it. And then there's a Christian act on Monday night. There's middle of the week next week, Kids Bop is here. So a great family show.
Kids Bop's hilarious.
Yeah. So there really
when my
is
kids
something
were little,
for everybody.
I loved it. Now we kind of laugh.
Yeah.
To some of the, but you know what? for I don't want my 4 and 5 and 6 year olds listening to some lyrics that are out there.
Yep.
And Kids Bop makes it accessible.
It's a great show for sure. So there'll be a lot of families here that evening for sure.
Oh, no doubt about it. Jeff McCarthy with Bank 5-9. All right, so we talked a little bit about the Brewers.
Yep.
Packers training camp has started. Packers got underway last week where, 6 practices in, whatever it might be. We're trying, kind of like we're trying not to get too excited about the Brewers, though we're very excited about it. I kind of feel like it's the same thing with Matthew Golden right now. Like where, and I could tell from your face, you knew where I was going.
I want to have Golden fever so bad.
Don't you? I do too. But I also want to say, all right, he's a rookie. Yeah. Hold your horses. But he's practicing fully with the ones, and he's starting more than he's not, and starting sets with the ones. I think it's okay to be a little excited about this one, Jeff.
I do too, and we're going to have to be willing to accept a couple of bad routes, a couple of drops. Like I said, he's a rookie.
Yep.
But man, long term, am I excited about what he brings to the field, and I think it's a weapon we haven't had really for a long time. And depending on what Christian Watson's leg does, he may or may not be the same player he was and the speed he had. And so to bring in somebody like Golden, I hope he's the missing piece of the puzzle.
I do too, and I'm excited to see how it affects Reed, Wicks, and Dobbs.
Yes.
Because I like all 3 of them. I think all 3 of them bring strength. By the way, Thunderstruck is playing now. So
I love it.
I should probably go jump on stage and just thank them for playing my theme song. But I think all 3 of them have their strengths, bring something, and all 3 of them, frankly, underperformed last year.
Yes.
I don't think they're, before the season started last year, I remember Goody was like, well, we think we have 3 number ones, and we don't. And you didn't really, if you think of 3 ones.
3 number twos, I think.
Right. Now, I think game to game, they have the opportunity to play like ones.
Yes.
And if Matthew Golden can be like a 1, but also open things up for the other guys, I think that makes the whole team better.
Yeah, if Golden can stretch the field, I think Reed underneath is going to have a lot of opportunities this year. Once he gets the ball, and Kraft too.
Yeah.
And they're both so dangerous once they get the ball.
Mm-hmm.
I think the possibilities are endless. I'm excited.
All right, so when we look big picture with the Packers, I've seen them. So I hate power rankings more than anything on earth.
Yep.
And we've seen and part of it is because we've seen the Packers power rankings anywhere from 5 to 16th.
Yep.
And it's tell me power rankings don't matter without telling me power rankings don't matter.
Right.
Is that you have them there? I could see if everything goes right. This team is a team we're going to be talking about deep into the playoffs.
They are. I think the biggest challenge is within their own division, right?
Yeah.
I mean, the Lions are no joke, and I think people forget at the end of the year last year, their defense was decimated. I mean, if they've got their full defense, and I just finished watching Quarterback on Netflix, and Jared Goff is on that, and I'll tell you what, he's a hard guy to hate once you kind of watch that show. He's a pretty good guy,
and we don't have to hate him. We can cheer against him.
Right.
I tell that to people all the time about Craig Counsell, where I know there's still hurt feelings about Craig Counsell. You can boo him. That doesn't mean you have to hate him.
Exactly.
Now, there's a lot of people who still hate him, and they're going to hate him.
Right.
But I think with a guy like Jared Goff, we should be cheering for our team. It's okay to boo the other team. That doesn't mean there's hatred there.
No, you're right. You're right.
That's what fandom is.
No, you're right. But man, it's a tough division still. I mean, if the Bears improve like people think they will, and I'm not sold on that. But the Vikings are still going to be tough.
Yeah.
And
it's
the
all
Lions
about JJ McCarthy with the Vikings, right?
Yep.
We have no idea what to know about a rookie quarterback.
Right, but even their defense is going to keep them in a lot of games.
Yeah, for sure.
Even if McCarthy's
just
average.
throw jump balls to Jefferson, right?
Right.
I mean,
exactly.
You might throw a couple interceptions, but he's going to come down with a couple too.
Exactly. I'm cautiously optimistic for the Packers season. I always am.
Yep.
But I'll tell you what, that first game, if they go down by 7, I'll be like, it's over. I can't watch.
What's your number one? What's your number one sport? What's the sport you can't miss?
Well, in terms of watching I'll take football.
Football
every time.
Okay.
Every time.
No.
In terms of playing, I'm a golfer. So.
No. Golf. We know what it is. It used to be golf. It's now pickleball.
Well, I do enjoy a game of pickleball as well.
Yeah. And I know, great friend of show and obviously business partner with Mason, Brian Lammy.
Yep.
You and he are very close and play pickleball together. You guys won the at Summerfest, didn't you?
We did.
The
We played in the the opening night celebrity softball or celebrity pickleball tournament there. I'm obviously not a celebrity, but was afforded the opportunity to play, and we won it that night.
Pickleball's fun, man. I love playing. I played with the morning guy from KLH, and we had a blast. And we did okay. We went 1-2, and we lost one we should have won. We lost one we should have lost.
Yeah.
And then we won. We got a nice comeback from behind. And it's like I tell people, like, be careful, because their injuries are cropping up, as you know, with pickleball.
Yes.
But it's a blast out there.
Yeah. Well, we wound up beating John Horst and one of their other front office guys in the final, and afterwards
I think it was Dan Smichek.
Dan Smichek, that's right. Yep. And I thanked him for playing.
Whitefish Bay, what?
There you go. And John looked at me. He's like, "Yeah, this was a nice distraction."
Yes.
Because they hadn't signed Turner yet at that point. So obviously,
I'm still texting Dan about getting John on the Mason Crosby show.
Yeah.
He's still like, "Yeah, he'll come on." Just but it's like, I'm like, isn't everything done now? Like, now the dust is settled. Like, now
we'll see.
Yeah, right.
We'll see.
You never know there.
You never know.
I totally agree. What did you think of the Turner signing?
I like it. I mean, I'm a huge Brooke Lopez fan.
Yeah.
My daughter's got his jersey. We just think he's a great guy, and he's been a great player for us. Yeah. But I think, much like when the Packers moved on from Favre and moved on from Rodgers, at some point you have to know when it's time. Yeah. And I think Miles Turner's got a much bigger runway in front of him than Brooke does at this point. So as much as you hate to see a great guy and a great player go, I think it's probably best for the team.
Jeff McCarthy, Chief Marketing Officer, marketing guru, whirling dervish of marketing with Bank 5-9, joining us on Thunder at the Fair. Jeff, thank you so much for jumping on today.
Oh, my gosh.
This was a blast. Thanks for all you do here at the Fair, in the community. You can't help but think, when you think of Bank 5-9, you think of, like, a great corporate partner and a great business that really believes in its community and really is involved in its community.
We are. We're really proud of our involvement, and, man, I super appreciate you inviting me to come on today.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Thank you, buddy.
Yep, we'll do it again sometime. He's Jeff McCarthy, Chief Marketing Officer with Bank 5-9. We'll come back. We're going to do a little bit of like what we missed, some news headlines. We'll check in on any more breaking news with trade deadline. Remember, trade deadline is today at 5 o'clock. Major League Baseball, 6 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Central. So Sparky's going to keep you updated on everything as it is pertaining to that trade deadline. The Brewers are off today. There is no leadoff show. Tommy will be back tomorrow. Brewers are at the Nationals. I think it's like a 5:30, 5:40 start. So Tommy will jump on an hour before that and do that. Remember, wherever you listen to your shows, just search The Mason Crosby Show. Search for Wisconsin Sports Daily. Apple, Spotify, iHeart, Odyssey, wherever you listen to your podcast. You can listen to the whole show. You can listen hour by hour. You can watch just the highlights, which I do on YouTube all the time, because Tommy and Charlie put together like the best highlights ever. And then like I feel good about myself. I'm like, wow, I'm actually good at my job. But it's not me. It's actually them making me look good. So shout out to Tommy and Charlie doing that as well. Coming up, more breaking news, headlines, and we will set things up for Steve Sparky Pfeiffer, who will be here from 2 to 5 at the Wisconsin State Fair. It's Thunder at the Fair on The Fan. This is Thunder at the Fair, presented by Potawatomi Sportsbook. My name's Mitch Nellis, a.k.a. Thunder, and thanks to Jeff McCarthy, thanks to Tim McCormick for jumping on, thanks for Mark Baden for joining us on the Fan Guest Hotline, powered by Gruber Law, one call, that's all. Just having an absolute blast here at the Wisconsin State Fair. I see my friend Mike D walking over here. He doesn't even see me yet, but he's coming over just to say hi. And we're like, Charlie, I can't believe we made it day one, man.
I know. It flew by.
I feel really good about this. This has been great.
It's been a lot of fun.
And it is, I mean, we talked about this in the first hour. It is absolutely a perfect day here at the Wisconsin State Fair. It is mid-70s. It is sunny. It is awesome. And so I can't wait for everybody to just enjoy everything about the fair. One thing we didn't talk about on today's show, Charlie, and I know I'm going to set up my show kind of how what you do with Sparky. It's the segment I'm most jealous of, the one that you and Sparky do. And I think a 3-hour show is better for it than a 2-hour show, is What Did You Miss? It's all the headlines, all the things that you missed. But first of all, I want to go back to you. Is there any other breaking news? Because I'm not seeing anything. I did see a friend of mine texted me and said he's hearing some reports out of Cleveland that the Brewers might be interested in Stephen Kwan, who's a former All-Star, and that then they would move Collins to third base,
all right,
and Durbin to second, and Terang to short. I don't know if Collins plays third. I don't know what that would look like, but and he might have made that up. But he said he has a buddy in Cleveland who heard that, so I have no idea if that's true. Besides that, I think that's pretty much everything. That's it.
The latest to come in here is that, again, from Jeff Passan of ESPN, the New York Yankees are finalizing a trade to acquire closer David Bednar from the Pittsburgh Pirates, sources tell ESPN. Deal is pending a medical review.
Yeah, every closer of bad teams is getting traded right now. It is that is the free-for-all. The Brewers don't necessarily need that. They do need some depth in the bullpen. I wouldn't mind some arms coming into the bullpen to help out that bullpen a little bit, but I don't think the Brewers need to pay the expense of a closer with the way that especially Uribe and McGill. And I still think the concept of a Logan Henderson in that bullpen for the last 2 months of the year isn't a bad thing. I wouldn't hate Logan Henderson in the bullpen there for the last 2 months. All right, so one of the things we didn't talk about at all today, and I know you as a football knucklehead are into this. Tommy and Mason are obviously into this. Charlie, there's a football game tonight.
There is. The Hall of Fame game. I don't care about the Hall of Fame game at all.
No, I don't think any of us should. The San Diego Chargers, and I'm going to call them that. I don't care if they play in LA.
Just like Oakland A's.
That's right. The San Diego Chargers taking on the Detroit Lions. So I think it's going to be the Herndon Hooker, backup quarterback for the Detroit Lions, versus Trey Lance, the backup quarterback for the Chargers. The Herndon Hooker Trey Lance game. I don't even know if I wonder, because it's a Hall of Fame game, do Goff and Herbert, do they have to play one series just because you got picked to be in the Hall of Fame game? Do you have to be there?
They have to be there. I don't think they have to play one series. You're going to see them all get suited up before the game for practice, and then everybody gets excited hoping that they'll see a player like that get one series, and then they never get one series. They always take off their pads before the game starts then afterwards. So I think really they just use it as kind of a way to get the team ready to warm up for a professional game, especially some of these rookies, and then that's it. After that, all the veterans just get to go take their pads off and sit down.
So I don't really know why Detroit is in this game. Antonio Gates is going into the Hall of Fame this weekend, and so it makes sense that the Chargers are there. Of course, Antonio Gates, longtime tight end with the San Diego Chargers. Eric Allen, Jared Allen, and Sterling Sharp are the other players going in. I'm sure there were rumors at one point that maybe the Packers could be the team that was going in. I don't know from a Veterans Committee standpoint. I'm trying to look. I don't see. I think that Sterling Sharp was the senior committee.
He was, yeah.
Yep, and then Antonio Gates, Jared Allen. So I don't see any really Detroit Lion connection there. But it makes sense that the Chargers. But there's a football game tonight. The Chargers and the Lions going at it. I'll be honest, and I know they started training camp a week before the Packers did. I would not be ready for a football game July 31st. Like, I'm not even ready for the preseason games in August. Like, I care so little about preseason football games. I care much more about training camp. But like Mason said on the Mason Crosby show yesterday, like, you had 90 guys there. You're getting down to 53 and then to 45. Like, you don't really need to take the time to get to know 30 of these guys who are going to be playing tonight, do you?
Not really. I don't think that when you're looking at this game, I think it's more so just to get people realizing that the NFL season is starting. Those people that aren't caring about the training camps or anything like that, they just want to get everybody that just is on TV sitting tonight bored. They get to see an NFL game and go, "Hey, the season's starting." Exactly.
All right, so the Nicolay Law Fan Talking text line 414-677-1250. If you want to chime in, do you think the Brewers will make a trade? Do you think they'll make a major trade? Do you think what will happen there? On my personal text chain, I just got a text from Steve Sparky Pfeiffer from 4 minutes ago of the crazy long traffic line he is in. So I can't tell if he's in his car and took a picture of being 7 miles away from State Fair, or if this is a picture of he parked and he's finally ready to walk in. Dude is far away. Because Jack and I were just talking to each other Sparky, I don't think I've ever seen Sparky be late for anything in his life. If he's been late for anything in his personal life, I would definitely blame his kids for that because he's got a gaggle. But Sparky is buttoned up in a way that I'm a little jealous of, I'm a little envious of, that I'm a little honorific of. I honor how buttoned up he is about all sorts of things. But it is, listen, State Fair is packed. State Fair is humming. State Fair is buzzing. It is the place to be right now. Tons of Brewers gear, tons of Packers gear, tons of Bucks gear. I have seen some Bears gear. I have seen a lot of Cubs fans, I'm sure, went to the game yesterday, stayed over in Milwaukee and are here. So our friends that visit Milwaukee, thank you for spending your money on hospitality in the state of Wisconsin. Thank you for spending your money here in Wisconsin, and drive home safely when you are ready to go home. What else did we miss? Charlie, is there anything else on your radar that we missed in the world of sports as we really are focused on the MLB trade deadline?
I mean, I know we're focused on the MLB trade deadline, but were you guys able to get into any of this Gilbert Arenas story that happened yesterday?
Oh, we texted it around. But we didn't but I don't know if they talked about it today on the show. I don't think we did yesterday because it happened right after the show. And my first reaction, because I thought whoever wrote the headline did a really bad job, because they basically wrote on the headline that it said Gilbert Arenas arrested for hosting an illegal poker game, and I'm like, what? I play poker,
right?
What's wrong? What's wrong with hosting a poker game? And then you read the article, and it's well, first of all, they're taking a rake, so that's illegal. Second of all, there are women in attendance providing camaraderie for some of the people who are playing, and Gilbert and his team are taking a percentage of that, and then they're probably using this money for money laundering and doing some whatever they're doing illegally with the money. So this isn't a illegal poker game situation. This is fraud and racketeering and all those bad words, and I literally have no clue what they mean.
Yeah, this is mob type stuff. This isn't just playing poker with your buddies
Organized
for a lot
crime.
of money. No, this is a mobster is involved in all of this. He's apparently the one running all this. It's just insane. Everything that's going down should not be involved with anything to do with a professional athlete or former one, and it's happening. This is all crazy.
Yeah, it really is. And so it'll be – I mean, listen, for those of us who have followed Gilbert Arenas' career, Gilbert's been in and out of trouble for a long time. We all remember the plane incident with him and Javaris Crittenden when guns were drawn over a card game when they were on the Washington Wizards together, and it seemed like Gilbert had cleaned things up and straightened things up. He has a very popular podcast. I get highlights from his podcast on my TikTok feed all the time. I think that we see that. His son was scheduled to play at USC, but I think is out like 6 to 8 months, had a pretty horrific injury. And so we'll keep our eyes on that. And I don't know what his finances are as well. Like, I don't know.
Pretty good would be my guess.
Right, but you never know how guys spend their money or how guys, there's issues with their money. So you never know what that's going to look like. I don't know what to think of it. Like, I don't know. More Buc-ee's shirts. Man, there are more Buc-ee. Like, where is Quick Trip? People got to wear their Quick Trip shirts to State Fair tomorrow.
I'll represent.
They just got it because there's a lot of Buc-ee's gear out here today. I have no idea why. But a lot of Buc-ee's gear out here today. We got to get some of those Quick Trip T-shirts and gear out here tomorrow. Well, guess what? I have breaking news here at State Fair. Steve Sparky Pfeiffer is in the house. Here for everybody on the YouTube channel. There he is. Sparky is ready to get things underway. Wisconsin Sports Daily served up by Wendy's. He's got a great show coming up. I can't wait to tune in for it. There's going to be a lot. He gets the fun one, right? Like he gets the one where we get to hear breaking news if, and I'm not saying when, if the Brewers do make a deal. He's also got Tim Dillard coming up today at 3:20, a.k.a. Dim Tillard at 3:20. Wisconsin Sports Daily is served up by Wendy's from 2 to 5 right here at the fair on the Fan. Cannot wait to hear Sparky get going. Sparky, ready to take over? Sparky says, yep. So that means my time is come and gone. Charlie, let's do it again tomorrow.
Yes, sir. I'll be here.
All right, I did the funnel cake today. I don't know what I'm going to eat tomorrow. I might try some of those Sporky's winners that Tim told us about. I think the Brewers are going to make like one trade for a bullpen arm, and that is it. That is my prediction as we get to 2 o'clock here on trade deadline day. Sparky's going to jump on. I'm going to jump out. It's been a blast. We're here tomorrow. We're here all next week at the fair, powered by our friends at the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Remember, again, they've got SummerSlam coming up Saturday and Sunday night. That's going to be an awesome time there as well. For Charlie Usen, my name is Mitch Thunder Nellis. You've been listening to Thunder at the Fair on The Fan.